You step into a hushed cathedral dimmed by dusk light. A towering marble figure looms before you, bathed in shadow and golden lamplight. Fleshless and still, he stands as if alive, every carved muscle twitching under stone. This is Saint Bartholomew, the apostle who was flayed alive, now immortal in marble. You feel a shiver at its presence, but you sense there is a secret here. Something about faith and flesh and fear that this statue conceals. For a moment, you forget the rest of the world. The air smells of old incense and cold stone. Your footsteps echo on the marble floor. Only the distant toll of a bell answers. Dust motes swirl in a stray beam of light, rising like spirits between you and the carving. Candle flames flicker on nearby columns, casting Bartholomew's form into sharp relief against the darkness. The cathedral is yours alone. Here, face to face with suffering frozen in marble, your heartbeat slows to keep time with its silence. The Duomo's records tell us who he is and where he came from. Marco da Grate, a Renaissance sculptor from Lombardy, carved this statue in 1562. That date is etched in time across the marble, centuries of history, now silent witness. Milan then was a city of saints and turmoil, of artistry and war. Yet da Grate chose to show you something raw, a man's naked form as testimony. You almost see Marco himself chiseling by candlelight, intent on revealing the truth beneath the surface of a soul. Long ago, Bartholomew was a simple fisherman among Christ's followers, called to spread faith to the ends of the earth. Tradition whispers that he journeyed as far as Armenia, converting King Polemus, his queen, and entire cities. Such devotion threatened the old ways, and pagan priests demanded he be silenced. The local ruler, Astiage, obeyed them. Bartholomew was pinned down and skinned alive, his body stripped of flesh while he clung fast to his belief. Only then was he beheaded. It was cruelty beyond words. Now you stand before that cruel act made still in stone, and you wonder, where is the holiness in this horror? His hand still clutches a heavy book, his gospel, as if the words of his faith hold him even after death. You brush a finger along the marble pages. Perhaps it is the Gospel of Mark, the guide he left behind, its lines frozen in white. In this pose, Bartholomew seems both teacher and martyr. At his feet, you see the sculptor's own signature carved in Latin. It declares, in effect, Praxiteles did not sculpt me, Marco da Grate did. The arrogance of those words makes you smile faintly. It is as though the statue itself breathes. Behold what he has done. You lift your eyes to the lofty arches above. In his long vigil, the statue has known sunlight and shadow. In fact, he once stood on an outside terrace of the Duomo, exposed to rain and sun until centuries later, caretakers moved him inside for safekeeping. Now he watches these stone halls in silence. You lean in, curious and cautious. What truth is hidden behind those marble eyes? The cathedral holds its breath. His secret, entwining faith and flesh, waits for you to discover it. You step back and take a steadying breath. Somehow, the statue's secret has already found you. In this moment, you feel changed. The next breath you take might just unlock something important. You trace the edges of the stone skin. It drapes over him as if it were a cloak, not flesh. Even a guidebook whispers this horror. You recall how one writer imagined it. Bartholomew wears this hide as a grim trophy in the manner of Hercules wearing the Nemean lion's pelt. Pride lies in this brutality. His torment has been turned inside out into something almost regal. The marble is stained in places a deep red. You wonder if it marks victory as much as violence. Now look at his face. In contrast to the flayed body, the expression is eerily composed. He stands at ease, chin lifted, his gaze quiet but commanding. His features are serene, as if in silent prayer rather than agony. In one hand he holds a heavy book, its pages carved open. The Gospel of Mark lies there, poised like a beacon. That book has become a symbol in stone, the force that animates his spirit beyond death. Even as flesh has been stripped away, what remains is steadfast faith and quiet purpose. The contrast strikes you like a chord in silence: weakness and strength, pain and peace. He has become both the martyr's skin and the martyr's soul. The sculptor seems to say without words, the body is transient, but something inside is eternal. Here, suffering has been turned into a kind of armor. In the hush, you feel it in yourself. Faith can cloak you, even when your own flesh is undone. You stand a moment in silent dialogue with the figure. The flayed flesh has spoken to you, asking, "Who will you be beneath your own skin?" You straighten and almost smile at the thought. This stone sermon is oddly hopeful. To survive, you can choose to wear your burdens like armor. The statue doesn't frighten you now. It reminds you that the spirit can transcend the body's fear. You step even closer, heart pounding. The marble is cold to the touch, yet it gleams as if it were warm skin. Every detail calls out: veins and sinews and tendons woven into intricate patterns. It's as if the sculptor studied human bodies under candlelight. In fact, the cathedral's own notes boast of particular attention paid to the anatomy in the sculpture. You press your fingers along his shoulder. It feels impossible that this could be just stone. One 19th century traveler, Mark Twain, was shaken by how alive it looked. He wrote that Bartholomew was a man without a skin, with every vein, artery, muscle represented in minute detail. The description fits. Your gaze traces each cord of muscle, each bulging vessel carved by genius. You feel an odd mixture of awe and fear. This is flesh and bone, turned to chill white marble, and it makes your own body feel suddenly exposed. You follow the lines of his spine with your eyes. In the wavering light, he almost seems to breathe, his shoulders rising and falling with a phantom pulse. You swallow hard and reach out a trembling hand, curious if marble could bleed. Of course, it cannot. The stone is ice cold, yet it hums beneath your fingertips as if it knows your touch. You move around him slowly, keeping a respectful distance again. From behind, he looks like an ivory skeleton draped in the ghost of flesh. A classroom skeleton would be nothing by comparison. Some have said this statue is an anatomy lesson resurrected, or a soul reanimating a corpse. You decide that it is both. Every carved sinew and tendon seems to whisper its own truth in the half-light. As you finally step back, your own skin suddenly feels fragile. You run a fingernail across the back of your hand, as if seeking the boundary between flesh and air. The lesson of stone has dug in deep. Seeing this much exposed has made life feel more precious. You breathe deeply, humbled by the intimate knowledge carved into marble. You back away into the semi-darkness. The statue's mangled form looms and recedes like a nightmare come to life. Your breath catches in the hush. Then you see the detail at his back. The carved scalp and face of the saint hang flayed over his shoulders like a bloody curtain thrown aside. The marble edges are ragged and sharp as knives. You feel a chill crawl up your spine. You steady yourself against a column. All you can hear is the echo of your own heartbeat. This is martyrdom made manifest. There are no screams, only the silence of stone. Yet your body trembles. The calm expression before you is almost mocking in its serenity. It's as if Bartholomew is saying to you, "I have endured more than you can imagine." Even in marble, he seems to challenge you with those steady eyes. You take a shuddering breath and push away the fear. Gradually, you understand why the air in the Duomo deepens here. This is the darkest, most human truth laid bare. And yet in that truth, you see an unexpected dignity. In his silence, he stands proud. As you lock eyes with him, courage and fear mingle inside you. If he could wear such agony with equanimity, what are you capable of enduring? The question hangs unanswered in the still air. You step back slowly. The adrenaline ebbs. In this silence, the stone has conquered the scream. A strange kinship with the fallen saint takes root in your chest. You find yourself nodding to the statue, a silent salute to its calm defiance, before finally turning to go. You linger a moment, caught between awe and relief. The saint's eyes still follow you as the cathedral grows empty. In this silence, you contemplate what you have witnessed. He was just a man once, a man who suffered a fate unimaginable. And yet here he stands, centuries later, teaching you something without words. Flesh can be flayed, bodies can break, and yet something endures. Maybe it is faith, or courage, or the stubborn endurance of belief. Those cruel wounds carved in marble seem to soften under his serene face. You realize the statue's secret might be this: the body is fragile, but what fills it can be vast and enduring. Perhaps you will carry away a quiet comfort, the idea that every secret fear we hold is part of being human, and that beyond all fear, strength can be found. You step out of the Duomo into the cool light. The world around you hums with life again, but inside, you carry the silence of that stone. The darkness feels different now, and so do you. In the final glow of the cathedral lamps, a truth both dark and hopeful settles in your chest. Our flesh may tremble under darkness, but through faith and resolve, we can transcend even the greatest pain. The statue's secret is now yours, a quiet warmth to carry into the cold night.